Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, guys. Welcome to the LifeWire
Join us for a
LifeLine and
time of
happy
mental health
Monday to you
wellness tips
all.
at our LifeWire
Today we're going
LifeLine.
to continue
Mondays
the
at
topic
12
of
noon on
balance
Facebook Live.
and the importance
Parents,
of
grab your
balance
preschoolers and
in
join us
every
for fun with
aspect of
music
our
and movement
lives.
on Tuesdays and
So we'll be
Thursdays from 11
specifically
a.m.
touching
to
on
1 p.m.
balance
on
and
Zoom.
the
Every
different
Friday evening,
roles
we gather on
and the different
Facebook Live for
hats
a
that we
time of
wear.
prayer. Let's
So,
pursue
for
God.
instance, I'm a mother, so that's one of the hats that I wear. I'm also
The
an
Refreshing Life
employee.
Outreach and Missions Team
So those are
presents
some
a
of the
holiday
areas that
toy
we wear.
drive. You are invited to
So when I
donate or
think about
nominate a deserving
balance,
family to receive
I
gifts
think
this
about
holiday
just that
season.
scale.
For more
Life
information,
is
check out our
forever
website
moving
at
forward, and there's always going to be
refreshglobal.nfp.org.
us juggling and working towards
Join
our
our
balance.
texting
Sometimes we're going
community.
to be
Text
off a little
refresh
bit.
to
We
55444
want to have
to
full
stay
power
connected so we can
support,
refresh the
moving
world
towards
together.
trying to be as balanced as possible in life. So I want you to think about for a minute, just what does being unbalanced look like in your hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in.
Join us for a time of mental health wellness.
Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in. I am Candace Graves with the LifeWire Lifeline. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to continue our topic of depression for the month of November. Um, I'll be specifically touching on seasonal depression, um, as well as the do's and don'ts when it comes to seasonal depression. I definitely wanted to make sure I brought that up. Working with clients, I've heard several times um, from clients, a friend or a family member may respond to them in the manner of like, well, why are you still crying about that? It happened 15 years ago. You should be over it. That is a do not. So I definitely want to throw that out there as a tip. Um, as friends or as a family, we want to be supportive to those who may be struggling with seasonal depression. Whenever they're triggered, we never want to approach it from the standpoint of why aren't you over it. Definitely not. People deal with things differently and take different time frames to heal, so there is no, you know, after 6 months, you should be over it. There's no rule of that nature. So just us being mindful of that and being more supportive than judgmental. Um, I definitely wanted to throw that out there. So, seasonal depression, what is it? What is seasonal depression? So, what we're going to focus on though is looking at like fall through winter. Those are the seasons we're going to focus on. Now, of course, seasonal depression can occur in other seasons. It's just um, more occurrences happen in the fall and winter months. Specifically, in those months, it's not. We have less hours of daylight and more hours of night. And so let's say you are someone who like goes to work early in the morning and by the time you get off it's dark. So it's dark when you go to work and dark when you come home, and that's just day in and day out. That can absolutely start to affect your mood. 100%. um and that's what happens to some people. I mean, that could be something that triggers you and it could be something that doesn't. um Other common triggers that I've come across is maybe a loved one pass away, maybe a mom or dad or just someone close to you passes away, and something about the holidays triggers something for you, makes you misses that person, and you can kind of fall into depression. And it doesn't happen to everyone, but those are just a couple of common triggers that I've ran across. Um, so let's get right into it. Especially around the holidays, we want to talk about um, seasonal depression because we are quickly approaching Thanksgiving. Um, so, if you, some of the symptoms that are attached to seasonal depression is, just feeling fatigue, just um, sadness, hopelessness. Also, we have withdrawing, and this is a big one. Those are all kind of common symptoms, but especially around the holidays, you think about connecting with family, visiting friends, just being more social. Um, when you're dealing with depression, it may be like, hey, I don't want to be around anybody. I don't want to be bothered. Just low energy. Maybe it's some self-defeating thoughts that are coming up. There is just like an extensive list of symptoms that can be connected to depression. If you know someone who is struggling with seasonal depression, we want to be, like I said, as supportive as possible. And also knowing that they may withdraw, we may want to be intentional with checking on that friend more often than what we usually would. I would also say, knowing that it is the holidays, maybe even visiting that friend. I know during COVID it may not be a lot as many face-to-face visits. Zoom calls, people are setting up Zoom calls, just trying to connect with people, just other ways of trying to stay connected during this time and be supportive as well. But if you are someone who is dealing with seasonal depression yourself, and you know this, you know that the holidays are coming up, this is definitely a great time to game plan, um, to set yourself up for success. Get rally your support system around you as you go through the holidays. Um, to help be that support that you need. So I have a few just solid strategies that you can work towards implementing. So definitely get outside. Whatever that activity is just outside of your home. Um it could be essentially anything. It could be um walking your neighborhood. It could be as simple as that, or is okay. I'm going to check the mail every day. Something that gets you outside of your home. Now more than ever, we're seeing our four walls, so we want to be intentional and get outside of our homes for sure. Um, or sit on a patio or sit on the porch. Even if you don't want to take a walk, that is an option as well. Another tip or strategy is eating like a healthier snack. So we know Thanksgiving, good food, also heavy food, food that, kind of put you in a food coma. And food does weigh us down. It definitely does, which does have the possibility of affecting our mood as well. So think about that. Maybe being intentional about eating a more healthier snack versus whatever that was you would the cake. Just trying to swapping out something for something else. Definitely enjoy the food, but we could definitely look at finding a healthier snack. We tend to find comfort in foods, and overeating can be attached to that as well. So don't be intentional about sleep. Try not to sleep more than 8 hours. 8 hours is sufficient sleep. Try not to sleep under 8 hours either, because too much or not enough sleep can also impact our mood as well. Um, and then as we are working up into the holidays, still get yourself ready. Although you may be working from home, maybe your focus is going to be, okay, I'm going to do my hair, put me a nice lip color on, have a nice blouse, and be prepared for my Zoom calls or whatever format you're working in. Definitely being intentional, maintaining that routine that you have set up already will definitely help with some of that depression. Also, maybe you want to have a game night, even if it's virtual. People are playing virtual Jeopardy. They're doing all sorts of things virtual. We've definitely are adapting and getting really creative. Um, and like I said earlier, scheduling a Zoom call with a friend, being intentional about that. You know, maybe you best. So maybe weekends are tough for you because you don't really have anything planned per se. Be intentional about scheduling something with a friend for sure. And also, even if you're not the type of person that likes to really exercise much, I would say look at something that you like doing, something that you like doing to get you active. So if you don't like exercising, maybe um a salsa lesson, salsa tutorial on YouTube, and that could be your form of exercising, like salsa dance, or maybe it's a ballroom dance tutorial that you're looking at on YouTube. Or even if you're actually decided, this winter I'm gonna take a class. It whatever that thing is that is an interest to you, I would say do that thing. Another thing that you can also do, get creative as well. There are a lot of exercise challenges. Maybe you want to do an exercise challenge with a friend. See you guys can hold each other accountable as well. It's always easier when you're doing something with a partner for accountability. They check in with you, you check in with them. That also kind of helps get you going and not be stuck in a rut. And maybe you have a friend, a close friend that you feel comfortable talking to and sharing some things with. And honestly, there's definitely nothing wrong with connecting with a therapist. You know, that is always that is also a strategy. That's also a strategy. That's also additional support during this time. And I also want to note that there are definitely 24-hour hotlines, and I'll make sure the information is posted for a hotline as well if that is ever needed, regardless of what state you live in. There is 24-hour crisis hotlines for support if you feel like you don't have anyone close to you or in your circle that you can talk to as well. If there's just like you need to talk to someone now, but I would definitely recommend getting connected as well. And some other things other strategies that I've suggested um, that have been effective is, we have those spaces of, just feeling like really low and in a rut, counteracting that with positive self talk, whatever that is, whether that's your favorite quote, whether that's scripture, just something positive to reinforce the constant flow of positivity that we need to combat those negative thoughts and just that low place of hopelessness. So I hope those strategies will be you may find one or two things out of that that you would be able to implement, but also know that seasonal depression is um is normal. It does not mean like something is seriously wrong with you. That is a normal. That is a normal occurrence. So definitely apply some of these strategies, see what works. Everything is not going to work for you per se. Take what works for you and leave the rest. So I hope today's talk about seasonal depression was helpful. And we shall see you next week on Monday for the our next LifeWire Lifeline, where we will continue talking about touching on depression. Alrighty, thanks, guys. Bye.
Join us for a time of mental health wellness tips at our LifeWire Lifeline, Mondays at 12 noon on Facebook Live. Parents, grab your preschoolers and join us for fun with music and movement on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Zoom. Every Friday evening, we gather on Facebook Live for a time of prayer. Let's pursue God. The Refresh Your Life Outreach and Missions team presents a holiday toy drive. You are invited to donate or nominate a deserving family to receive gifts this holiday season. For more information, check out our website at refreshglobalnfp.org. Join our texting community. Text REFRESH to 55444 to stay connected so we can refresh the world together.